Roxas. You have to say words now.
You don't have to wield all the Keyblade. Do all those jobs for money. Never get on the dope-ass Disney train. Roxas. You don't have to wear that dark coat tonight. Is that what you're looking for? Welcome to Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast. I'm Mischa Stanton.
I'm Mayanna Berrin. Oh, wow. Yeah, baby. I feel like I could do anything now.
Yeah?
I feel much like our sweet, sweet, dark-jacketed boy about to face off with a giant, thorny knight from my nightmares.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to sweep through those thorns and hit it right in the face.
Yeah, baby. It gets you going.
Go. Okay.
Today we're talking about Roxas.
Roxas.
Roxas is one of my favorite characters in the whole franchise.
Freaking rocks. Wow. Okay, cool. So it's like nominate for me, Roxas for you.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what it is.
Yeah. Roxas, it's another one of those characters that has to like decide for themselves what they are.
Yes.
I love a character that builds themselves intentionally and also is a hero. You know, like when you do that, but you come out villain, that's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Try it again. Are you familiar with the movie Kingsman?
Yeah.
I love Kingsman for that same reason, where it's like he starts out as this one thing, and then in that last moments where he's, has to infiltrate the party, I'm like, that's a different man.
Yeah.
That man built himself into a different guy.
Talk about somebody who built himself from the ground up, because Roxas starts out with no memories.
No.
And his journey over the game series is deciding who he is and then never letting anyone tell him any differently.
Pop off, King.
Ever.
Oh, no matter what.
No matter what or who they say they are or what they say they know, they don't know shit. Because this man built it from scratch.
Ooh. But you know what? Aren't we all that way though? But we lose that along the way sometimes.
You lose, yes. It's a thing you have to keep intentionally in your mind, that you're actually doing that for yourself every day.
Yes.
And you can choose yourself every day.
Oh, speak truth. Yes, amen.
So yeah, this is a guy who, we're going to talk all about it today. Roxas is a boy who decides he's gonna be a good kid who has friends and cares about his friends, and then he is that.
Oh.
And that's the long and short of it.
That's all she wrote.
But the entire journey of how he gets to that point is fascinating, changes many other people's minds in the process, carves a path through this world and this story that leaves a very wide wake.
Yeah.
Ripples out, affects so many different people.
It's funny because it is like a shadow of Sora's journey, that like people tell Sora he is this boy who doesn't understand anything and that he's not, and he has this journey of deciding like, I'm me and that's enough and I'm going to touch the hearts of people. And Roxas does it in his own way, in this cool other way.
Comes to it from a time-sensitive place, like a time-crunched place.
Yes, dire circumstances.
Sora's had 14 years to become this kid, and we're introduced to him as this kid. Roxas has to learn the same things in months?
3 months, 4 months, not even. Yeah.
But because Sora resonates so strongly throughout his derivative beings, that
yes.
Maybe Roxas is is predisposed to coming to the conclusions that he comes to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
So let's start it out. Who is Roxas?
Who is he?
Roxas is Sora's nobody.
Yes, he is.
When Sora fell to darkness and his body and soul were left behind because his will was so strong and because it was bolstered by the will of others, it left behind a nobody that had perhaps the strongest sense of identity of all of them.
Yes.
Now, if I were to ask you to describe Roxas's qualities, what might you say?
Qualities? Ooh, I would say he's edgier than Sora.
Certainly true in his first appearance.
So what's interesting is like Roxas is birthed, and forms, but to players, his first on-screen appearance is in the rendered cutscene opening for Kingdom Hearts 2, right?
That's definitely the first appearance where we know that it's him.
Right, exactly. Right, because I think is he lightly mentioned in Chain of Memories?
He is heavily featured in the secret ending to Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh, right.
But it's with his hood up, and they haven't introduced who he is yet, and they don't show all of his face in that.
They just show that he has 2 Keyblades.
Yes.
Right. So we see him in the Dive to the Heart, echoing the opening moments from Kingdom Hearts 1. And I would say, upon having recently re-seen this cutscene, the first thing that strikes me is Roxas is probably, in my opinion, one of those well-designed Kingdom Hearts characters. I think his design is so cohesive and really thoughtful and really like purposeful in how it juxtaposes Sora. And I think you only get that because Sora and Riku are there already.
Sure.
But I think like there's something so like perfectly designed in his clothes, in his posturing, in his hair.
Yeah, it's like where Sora has brown hair, Roxas is blonde. Where Sora has large spiky hair, Roxas has tight spikes. Where Sora is wearing, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2, the game where Roxas first featured, Sora is wearing a black outfit and Roxas is wearing a light gray outfit.
And also Sora's shape language is round. Like his shorts are round, his shoes are round.
His big shoes.
His jump and his movements feel very curvature. Roxas feels very cut, very straight, very angular.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think like everything about him, you just get what he's about.
Yeah. Like I would say where Sora is confident, Roxas is characterized as cocky.
Yeah.
Where Sora is easygoing, Roxas tends to be shown as moodier.
He's got an edge. He's got a sharpness. The other thing, and this is because I'm an action figure kid. I love action figures so much. I loved action figures. I would buy all the action figures I could and I would just stare at them and see all the intricate details.
Yeah.
And I had a Roxas action figure. And one of the things that was really interesting about it was like every aspect of the clothes layer nicely on top of each other. Like it's like a seamless line all the way down.
Yeah.
Everything lays perfectly on top of each other.
Where Sora is like a little chunkier. Where
it's chunky, it's stretchy, it's bouncy. But I think that what that speaks to is like in your thing that it's like I am me and I am this thing. Even down to the design language, it's a singular focus on just the most important things about him.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, but it's all like sort of dark reflections of Sora in a way.
Yes.
So like he is headstrong, he is confident, he is rebellious.
Yes.
He like Roxas is actually pretty quick to anger.
Yeah. And it's intense, powerful anger.
Yes. Which just goes to show how wrong the rest of the organization is for trying to tell him that nobody's don't have feelings.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Another thing about Roxas, I would say, is he really values the truth.
Yes.
And that might come out of the fact that in the first 30 seconds of his existence, this man was already lying to him.
Bitches be lying in this bitch's face. And I will say, I'm very much in common with Roxas here. I think as I've gotten older, I put a pretty high premium on people being upfront and transparent with me.
Yeah.
I may be frustrated in the moment with something, but if I found out you lied to me, it is one of those things that I have a very hard time coming back from later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
And very fair.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to highlight is before we go through Roxas's journey is like how much he just wants an ordinary life where he hangs out with his friends.
God.
Roxas, all of the organization members have like little anime tournament like taglines.
Yeah.
And Roxas's is the key to destiny. The organization tells him how special he is because he has the Keyblade and how important he is to their plans. He becomes this like cosmic game piece that DiZ and the organization try to play off of each other. All he wants in the world is to sit every day with his friends on that clock tower and eat ice cream.
God, what a gift.
He is destined to be the hero, and all he wants is to be ordinary.
Oh, and that's so fun because, again, juxtaposing between Sora and Riku is like all they are is ordinary. Every day they get to sit on a horizontal surface and look out at the sunset and eat Paupu fruit, and all they want is to be not there.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah. So he was born... He came into existence at the moment that Sora stabbed himself with that Keyblade.
Yes, in Kingdom Hearts 1.
In Kingdom Hearts 1, that pivotal moment. He comes to in Twilight Town with no memory. He's outside the gates of the old mansion, and he wakes up and has no anything.
Yeah.
He's got the clothes on his back.
Yep.
Where'd those clothes come from?
I feel like because of the weird Disney-ness of this world, everybody gets born with clothes.
Got it. Except for the one moment where they specifically canonize that Mickey is shirtless.
Exactly,
right.
because Mickey was shirtless. Mickey's always, if anything, Mickey's canonical form is shirtless, and they added a shirt because everybody else has a shirt, except Tarzan, who doesn't have a shirt and never will have a shirt.
Yeah.
But I think, like when you get born, it's not like Terminator style where a ball burns everything around you and you're naked. I think you like pop into the world with clothes.
You do.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's what happened to Roxas because
Exactly.
he comes into existence with his own set of clothes.
Hell yeah, brother.
Now, there's the sort of concept in philosophy of the tabula rasa.
Ah, yes.
Are you familiar?
The blank slate, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That we all come into this world as a blank slate, that our nurturing and our environment starts from day one to shape who we are. We now know that that's not quite true, that our genetics plays a part of it, that our epigenetics plays a part of it, of shaping our personalities. But Roxas comes into the world as the archetypical tabula rasa.
Yes.
And then in the first 5 seconds of his existence, Xemnas shows up.
Not a great start. I mean, and what's interesting, because the same thing kind of happens with the guy, is it Xehanort, whose dad dies and then immediately Xehanort from the future shows up. Anytime the first person you see or know is Xehanort or one of his many offshoots, you're in for a problem.
He steps up and says, do you know where you are?
And it's like, bro, Roxas, I don't even know what words
Roxas
are.
literally doesn't know what words are. He can't respond.
He's nonverbal.
He's nonverbal. He's actually nonverbal for the first 8 days of his life.
Yes.
And so he doesn't respond. Xemnas says to him, you feel nothing. Nothing is real. I can give you purpose. This is the first 30 seconds of Roxas's existence. And Roxas doesn't know the difference. He doesn't know that he lacks purpose, but someone told him.
I don't even know what purpose is.
He doesn't know what purpose is. But someone's offering to give him one, and he has nothing but questions about who he is. He wakes up wondering who he is because he has no context for it.
Right.
And so, just like that, Xemnas inducts him as the 13th member of Organization 13.
And they called it that before, and they were like, Xemnas, why are you calling it that? He's like, let me cook. Just you wait. You're gonna be eating your words one day when that 13th member walks right through those doors.
And why does Xemnas want Roxas so bad? Because Roxas, because he's made of such a powerful light wielder, retained his use of the Keyblade through the transition from person to heartless nobody, dark being, etc.
Perfect. Now we can use him for our Kingdom Hearts Moon project.
Exactly.
Yes, it will work perfectly. My plan. Mwahaha.
Yeah. So about that plan.
Yeah.
We don't have to spend a lot of time answering the question here, but this entire thing does beg the question. If Roxas is the central linchpin of this, go get hearts and make a new Kingdom Hearts strategy, how were they doing it before they had Roxas?
Great question.
Well, what was the plan?
I think they were waiting for all the Heartless to die of natural causes.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, this one looks old. All right, we got one. Nice.
We got one. Now it will only take 17 more years.
Now, the real question, too, is what is the average lifespan, much like flies? What's the average lifespan of a Heartless?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know either. I bet you it is one of those things, though, where it's like, if you don't kill it, it lives forever. Yeah. It's like a cockroach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, insect coded again.
Bingo.
So he is the linchpin of the organization's whole plot, which means he is a very central character because as most people who the organization attempts to manipulate are main characters of this story, you might say.
And this one's got a Keyblade too.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so the organization finally has a Keyblade of their own to wield as they need.
Organization 13 can be a she.
Okay.
Of her needs.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Yes, girl. Go get
girl.
it.
Go get it, girl.
As far as Roxas knows, the organization is just like some guys who are doing a thing. And he sort of gets assigned to Axel, another member of the organization. And they say, like, okay, Axel, here's the new kid. Like, show him the ropes. And Axel starts taking Roxas on these daily missions. This is the daily grind for Roxas. He's immediately like, hey, man, you're hanging out, you're learning how to speak. How about a job, kid?
It is funny because Roxas is a character and 358 over 2 days by extension is the game about having a job.
Yeah. And it's so interesting, like the point of view you can get on Roxas playing the games through in release order, where you're introduced in Kingdom Hearts and you slowly reveal that Roxas, who seems like an ordinary kid, has the secret underlayer that he has to learn about himself.
Yes.
And chronological order, where you see where Roxas actually starts and how he gets, like, the through line of how he gets to and through that point.
Yes.
I'm interested in the transition point between those two things, so I am going to go through in chronological order for him.
Go for it.
All right. So, and stop me if this becomes too much of a 358 by 2 recap, because that is the game where it's from Roxas's point of view, and it just spends a year hanging out with Roxas while he has a day job for a year. So
there's other characters in that game, so.
There are, yeah, that's true. But he gets inducted into this job, and it seems to him like somewhere between, like, being a fireman and being a janitor for the universe.
Yes. It's
just sort of like, there's these Heartless, you gotta clean them up.
You gotta clean them up. The other thing I would say is it kind of feels like anthropology or like, not the store, the field of study, like that they're doing observation, they're doing intake.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
or like Jane Goodall with the apes.
Yeah, for sure. They're studying Heartless, they're examining Heartless, they're definitely destroying Heartless.
Yes.
And that's part of the goal as well. And he's told, like, okay, this is what you do. You do a mission like this, and you do one every day. And sometimes you'll have chaperone, but once you don't need a chaperone, you'll go on your own. And he starts getting into this routine. But as he's doing these things for the organization because they tell him to, he kind of starts being like, but why? Like, what is a heart and why do we care about them? I don't even know what that is. You know, other people are like, well, it's because we're incomplete. And Roxas is like, oh, I didn't know I was incomplete. I guess I'd like to fix that if that's the case. You know, he doesn't know why anybody's doing this except that they tell them that that's what they're doing. Another thing they tell him is that he's really important for having a Keyblade, and he doesn't know why. He's just like, this is the thing I have. Why is everybody making such a big deal out of it?
Buh.
Right? So he starts developing these questions about his own life that, like, no one seems interested in answering or really even asking of him. Like, do you have any questions? The only one who really, like, gives any time to that at all is there's a moment with Xemnas on the dark beach where Roxas, who's sort of like in a moment of like, why is all this stuff happening? Xemnas is like, I went to see this kid and he looks a lot like you.
Yeah, that is actually one of the first scenes. It's the first unrendered scene in Kingdom Hearts 2 is that moment, but they don't play the voice of Roxas in that scene. It's just like a guy who, if you're crazy like me and you pay attention to the way characters are posed and their stances, you can tell that it's Roxas because his walk cycle's the same. But if you're not me, it's just a guy. And Xemnas is there and you don't know it's Xemnas yet, but he's like, I've been to see him.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he starts developing these deeper questions, and it's because even though he can't speak, he doesn't have the words to describe it, but he knows how he feels, and it doesn't match what the people are telling him.
Yeah.
And rather than just sort of like blindly accept it, he's immediately like, why are we doing any of this? I want to know what it's for.
Yeah.
Organization 13 does not want to answer those questions.
Oh my God.
So they put him under the care of Axel, an experienced organization member who's really bought into like the lack of morality of the group, you might say.
He's definitely, he's giving Mercutio from Romeo and Juliet, where it's like, all this shit's stupid.
Right. And so when they assign him with Axel, Axel starts taking him on missions. And at the end of the day, Axel goes, hey, man, nice work on the job. You deserved a little treat.
Oh.
And Axel buys Roxas a sea salt ice cream in Twilight Town and takes him to one of the best views in the city, the clock tower in Twilight Town.
Now, question for you, Mischa.
Yeah.
If somebody said, hey, do you want to sit off the ledge of this thing and dangle your legs? Would you do it?
There's a part of me that really would. I love a gorgeous view. I also hate heights.
Yeah. How tall? How high up would you say they are?
Tens of feet for sure.
Yeah, I'd say like 30 stories.
Yeah.
Depending on the shot you're looking at.
It's the tallest building in the city.
By a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, low-grade skyscraper type vibes.
Yeah.
Pretty scary. I, too, would not. I was on a balcony recently that had glass that was like 15 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I, too, was like, no.
Well, and Axel does this for Roxas the first time, and it like unlocks something inside of Roxas.
Yeah.
This moment of, and afterwards we get a little ice cream treat, becomes central to his personality and identity.
What is your after this we get a little ice cream treat? What's the thing that gets you through the day?
You know what it is? It's my building has a hot tub.
Oh,
that
yes.
I actually have an alarm on my phone that goes off every day at 8:30. That's like, hey, just before you miss this deadline, you better stop editing podcasts so that you can make sure to go down to the hot tub before it closes.
Donate to the Patreon. Yes, mine is David and I had there was like a stressful day or something. And David said, no matter what happens, we'll always make it back to the couch.
Yeah.
Because I have a really big green couch. You've seen it.
I have.
It's called Bouch because it's a couch that's also bed.
Nice.
And now I think about that a lot where I'm like, no matter what happens, I'll always make it back to the couch.
It's really sweet and very homey. I like it a lot. So this moment of like coming back with the ice cream, like that's enough to distract Roxas. That actually gives Roxas enough purpose.
Wow.
Where he actually says like, oh, I love this. I have a friend. I have a nice thing we do together where we just talk about life and stuff and we laugh and we're friends. And like, if me having the job is the thing that allows me to do that at the end of the day, I'll do the job. I'm golden.
This is just going into the workforce.
Yeah. Well,
and at first you're like, I think I can handle it. As long as I get to hang out with my friends afterwards, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
And then one day, it's not enough anymore.
One day it breaks your friends around you and breaks yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. And another reason that like he falls in love with this is like one of the first times that him and Axel are hanging out in Twilight Town, these three kids who live in Twilight Town run by. Their names are Hainer, Pence, and Olette.
Yes.
And they are just like some kids who live in Twilight Town.
Exclusively
they
in
hang
that
out
order.
Yeah. Yes. Hainer, Pence, and Olette exclusively in that order. And they like just run around being kids, and they actually see them, and Roxas is like, why are they doing that? Why are they running around being noisy? And Axel's like, oh, like that's what friends do, I guess. Like if you have a heart, that's what you do. You like be with the people you love. And then, you know, Axel gives Roxas this ice cream, and Roxas is like, why'd you do this? And Axel's like, because we're friends, aren't we?
Oh my God.
So like these two moments, and they're in the same day, so like they're tied to each other. It's like, oh, that's what life's about. Life is about making friends and spending time with them.
That is what life's about.
It is, Roxas, and that becomes core to him. So that gains a new element when Axel has to go on a mission, and that mission is messing with Sora in Castle Oblivion and Chain of Memories.
He's like, I got another gig, sorry.
He's like, hey, I'll be back in a little bit. And they bring in another character to the organization named Xion.
Oh my God. A girl after my heart.
Yes. And I'm not going to lie, through prep for this, I have truly fallen in love with Xion.
I'm so glad you have, because I've been loving this girl for years.
I
love her. Like, Naminé got there first, but Xion, I love you. Yeah. And I can't wait to talk about you.
That's the girl. But in the beginning, her hood is up. She's mute. She doesn't really talk. She's very quiet. And Axel leaves, and Roxas is left to hang out with Xion. And Roxas goes like, oh, I remember what Axel did to make me better. I can do that for her.
Yep.
while Roxas and Shion start like going on missions together, getting closer, over the course of days, she takes down her hood and has a face. On like day 2 or 3 of their friendship, she wields a keyblade for the first time. Something that they've told Roxas makes him so special, they now share it.
Yeah.
They become such fast friends. And as soon as she starts doing that, he goes, "Hey, Shion, nice job at work.
Aww.
I think you've earned a little treat."
Aww.
And he shares, he remembers how much that meant when Axel was doing it for him. And he's like, this is the best thing I have to give, and gives it to her.
You know what it reminds me of too, and maybe it's just because I'm an older sibling, it reminds me of that process of like your older brother teaches you something, and then you're the youngest, and you receive something, and then you get a younger sibling, and then that middle sibling becomes like, hey, I can be the bigger sibling for you, and I'll give you something.
Exactly.
And now I'm sharing, and now I get the joy of presumably what my older sibling shared with me, and now I get to understand it and appreciate it in a new way.
Yeah. He knows that this is the thing that makes life worth living. Not, one day finding a heart, but just deciding that you're going to have a heart. Just sitting down and deciding it. Yeah. And he wants to give that to her too.
I love
so that maybe she'll spread it to the next. Like, this is a thing that Roxas believes is good. And like the fact that it's really not good for the organization's plans, like, doesn't even enter into his imagination. He's like, I don't give a shit about my day job. I want friends.
Yeah. And it's also like, what I do on my off time's my business, bitch. I'm working for y'all 9 to 5. What a way to make a living.
Right.
Let me have my evenings. Well, Jesus.
And there's another moment in 358 where there's like, I think it's day like 115 or something, where they have their first day off.
Oh my God.
This boy's been alive for 115 days. He's never had a day off from work before.
The reality is, I found out recently that I'm going to get 5 days off in April.
Wow.
And I literally, from the minute finding out, literally today, I'm like, I will do everything. I will fight everything to protect those 5 days I have off in April. I can't wait.
Well, and when he's left to his own devices for a single day, all Roxas does is goes back to the clock tower, buys himself an ice cream, and from above, he watches Hayner, Pence, and Olette being friends. He's just like, wow, I love Friends.
Friends is great. And you know what, Roxas? You're so right,
You're so right.
Got it in one.
Well, the first complication, Roxas really loves this place he's in. Like, yeah, he has to do this day job, but at the end of the day, he gets to eat ice cream with his friend. And he does eat ice cream with his friends every day.
Good for him.
It's like to the point where you're like, Roxas, buddy, you could do something else with your friends.
No.
Doesn't have to be ice cream every day.
I nailed it first time. And I will say this, what a hyperfixation moment to be like, I get home and I have the same meal every night.
Yeah.
And if I don't get it, I will freak the fuck out.
Yeah. So he spends his days being like, man, I could live like this forever. Like, I got it. I'm happy. And here's what's interesting about the introduction of the character versus the chronological, right? In 358 by 2 days, this is what Roxas knows. Roxas has found contentment. He's not edgy. He's not moody. He's just a happy kid with his friends.
And it's unfortunate because it's like inside the machinations of the darkest thing, but he doesn't know that yet. Yeah.
Well, when he starts to learn is when Shion's powers start kicking in.
Yep.
Now, the struggle with Roxas and Shion is that Roxas is Sora's nobody, so they're intrinsically linked. And in Chain of Memories, Naminé shattered Sora's memories and scattered them to the winds. And some of them have been caught by Shion.
Yeah. And that's science, baby.
That's just science. The struggle is that, like, Shion and Roxas both in certain ways draw their power from Sora, and there's just not really enough to go around.
No.
So as Sora starts to reawaken, Roxas falls into a coma. Shion falls into a coma. Shion starts getting powerful later in the game. Roxas falls into a coma. And they're never outright fighting about it, but it is a tension in their friendship.
Yeah, you can feel like the life force is being drained.
Yeah. But despite that, Roxas goes out of his way to defend Shion in her vulnerable state. At a certain point, she stops being able to summon the Keyblade, and Roxas takes this thing that, again, the organization's like, it is your destiny, you are the most special because you have this thing. And he's like, yeah, you want to borrow it?
Nice.
Here you go. Just like, I don't know, give it back on Tuesday.
That's so funny.
And like without a second thought, he doesn't want to be the special thing. He just wants his friends to be happy and safe.
And like especially safe, because I think like there's only so many of them, and presumably that by this point, some of them are dying and not coming back.
Yeah, he hears about the members in Castle Oblivion who die, and he knows that Axel keeps going there, and Axel spends like a bunch of extended periods of weeks going to Castle Oblivion explicitly and not showing back up. And every time Roxas is like, yo, I was worried about you. In fact, there's a moment where Axel comes back from the castle and Roxas says like, hey man, I heard what happened to all those other guys. I was really worried about you. And Axel says, dude, you're a nobody. You don't have a heart. You can't feel worried. But Roxas does not even clock that. He speeds right past it. He's like, I was scared I was going to lose you. Isn't there anything you couldn't bear to lose? Like, I was really worried. And again, Axel's like, dude, you don't have a heart. You can't feel scared. What are you talking about? And Roxas says, I don't care, man. I know what I felt, and I felt scared for you. And it's like proof that like, you can't tell this kid he doesn't have a heart because he so clearly feels so many things.
Yeah, and it's also like crazy for Axel to say that because during this point in time, Axel is growing into the understanding that like Naminé has desires and feelings, and that like he himself probably has desires and feelings, and maybe it's like a thing that scares Axel.
Yes, there's some tension in 358. I don't want to super cover it here because there's room in other episodes for it, but there is this thread that like Roxas feels this so strongly, and he will not be swayed by the logic of quote unquote scientists.
Yeah, because I'll say this. Usually when scientists start laughing maniacally and have spooky guys spiritually chained to their backs and they yell submit a lot, I stop listening to them personally.
Right. But Roxas like won't be told that like nobodies don't have hearts because he knows what he feels. And he feels that so strongly that it starts to change Axel's mind. Axel's a very, like, especially in the beginning of 358, he's very like, yeah, I'm an assassin. Yeah, I'm your chaperone. Whatever you say, kiddo. I'll like tell you what you need to hear so I can control you. And over time, it develops into this real friendship, which surprises Axel. Axel's like, whoa, I do care about this guy.
So then I have a question for you. What motivates him to give Roxas a little treat?
I think initially it's a mode of control.
Or like, this is what kids do. You're a kid. Here you go, kid.
I think... Talk about Sora being dog-coded. I think it's operant conditioning.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of your job well done, you get ice cream.
You get treats.
Do job, get ice cream.
You know what it reminds me of, too, a little bit? It reminds me of... Or did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
It reminds me of when Goku leaves Gohan behind in the woods.
Yeah.
And is like, you got to get strong. And Piccolo, don't get involved. And Piccolo's like, you got it.
Yeah.
I love this kid so fucking much. Oh my God, I would die for this kid. I would do anything to make sure that this kid is safe forever. This kid might be my kid.
Yeah.
It's very that.
So, like, to the point where Axel's mind starts changing without him noticing it. There's a minute where, you know, again, one of these, they hang out here every day. One of these days, Roxas is like, yeah, you know, I want to just hang out every day. I want to hang out and watch the sunset. And Axel goes like, well, does it have to be every day? Like, sometimes they send me on missions. I guess it doesn't have to be every day. As long as we keep each other in our thoughts, we'll never forget each other or be far apart.
So true.
And Roxas is like, Axel, what the fuck did you just say? That's not like you.
Oh.
That doesn't sound like you. What are you talking about? Well, that sounds mushy-gushy for a guy who has no heart. Interesting.
Also, that sounds like something Sora would say.
It does sound like something Sora would say.
Sounds like something Axel maybe heard Sora say. And Axel went, that kid's spitting fire. Damn.
That's what yeah. I think between his experience watching Sora in the castle and watching Roxas befriend him because he feels so strongly that we're friends that he forces it on the world. Like, these two sides of Sora really do take Axel from an amoral assassin into like a dude that also cares so much about his friends.
Yeah, I would say Axel is more a bleeding heart character than almost any character, especially because, you know, aside from Chain of Memories, the first real extensive time you spend with him is at the end of the tutorial of Kingdom Hearts 2 with Roxas, and he is so intensely motivated by his care for Roxas.
Yeah, and that is an intense way to get to know this character, but like after you go through this story, this journey with them, like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it's around like these day 150, like, you know, they've been in the organizations for a few months. They're getting really close as friends. it's at this point that 358 stops being a game about Roxas and starts kind of being a game about Xion.
My favorite part.
Yeah, but
literally best part.
Not so conducive.
Literally peak.
So conducive to the episode about Roxas. So
Fair
I'm
enough.
going to be skipping around a little more. But
yeah, that's fine.
Basically, Xion starts going through this crisis, and Roxas just sort of is like, hey, and we're all friends and we'll do this every day and nothing will ever change forever. But like,
just kidding.
Girls go through it. Girls, be going through changes.
You know what I'll say too, again, in our bigger macro evaluation about how the Kingdom Hearts series, at least arc 1, is partially about the uncomfortable transition from childhood into adolescence.
Speak on it.
It really do be that moment where girls start be going through their periods and boys be like, I have no idea what's happening, but my friend is different now.
Okay, right? So this happens. Xion is in her feelings about completely separate stuff. She leaves. Roxas is there thinking about it. Axel shows up on the clock tower, and Roxas is like, I don't know what I said. Did I say something wrong? And Axel sits down and goes, Roxas, buddy, let me tell you about girls.
Yeah, it really do be like that. But like, and I do think boys and girls, as they grow into adolescence, whatever the fuck, they go through specific social conditioning that is harrowing and horrifying in their own unique ways. And then trans and non-binary kids have a whole different one that's a whole other incredible journey.
Hooray!
Hooray! But I think girls, as they get into that teenage time, there's two horrifying things that happen.
Yeah.
There's the horrors of, things like your period and all of this stuff. And then the horrors of how heterosexual men in the world respond to you. And that process happens around the time you're 13 or 14 years old for most girls. And that process is existentially horrifying. It changes you in ways, that you will have to reckon with for the rest of your life. And for Xion, she is not only coming into the understanding of like, I am this tool for this purpose, but also like, I even as a girl am not fully a girl. And the person that I am is this other thing and will never be the thing that I thought it was ever again.
Yeah. And this is like, and she goes through this realization over the course of months. Yeah. And this is just the beginning of it.
And Roxas.
And Roxas is just like, I don't know what that is. And Axel's like, buddy, girls be having problems. Sometimes you say the wrong thing and girls be like that. Well, what's so funny about this is like the next kind of major moment in that game is Roxas goes on a mission with Xaldin, who is another member of the org.
Not Xaldin!
And they go to Beast Castle.
Yes. I love Beast Castle.
And Roxas like sort of observes the beast's protective nature over Belle and is like, oh, love is a thing. Now, Xaldin has a moment where he's like, yes, this is the power of love. Pitiful, is it not? Because Xaldin has this weird, like, rivalry with the beast's power of love specifically. It's in Kingdom Hearts 2 and also 358 by 2 days. Xaldin spends an inordinate amount of time being like, and the fact that the beast is in love, that's actually a weakness. Specifically the beast.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Well, you know why? Because I bet Xaldin identifies with Xaldin kind of looks like the beast.
Yeah, he's got those chops.
He's got those chops and also this kind of like strong, bold thing. And I think he sees himself as a strong, ferocious kind of man. The pool is closing. And he sees the beast and the raw, ferocious power that should be indomitable, that shouldn't be swayed by anything and is swayed by a girl.
Yeah. Well,
that's gay. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So Roxas hears this from Xaldin, doesn't really buy into what Xaldin's saying, but this is sort of the moment where he goes like, oh, the power of love. That's a thing you need a heart for.
Oh.
And now, only on day like 170 something, Roxas has a reason to be on board with the organization's mission. He says, oh, I guess I do want to get a heart so I can know what the power of love's about.
Because Roxas is in love with Xion.
Because Roxas is in love with Xion. Now, the problem with that, of course, is that Roxas also is Xion.
Yep.
And that is bad and falls out for the rest of that game. So there's some bits where, like, Xion in this journey kind of gets confronted by Riku, who sort of tells her to go digging for her past. She goes to Castle Oblivion. She disappears. She starts running off repeatedly.
Yeah.
She sort of like is missing for several weeks.
She's doing angst teen.
Yeah,
she's sneaking out after curfew.
She's running away from home. Absolutely.
She's breaking all the rules. Get it, girl.
Yeah. And Roxas is sort of like going about his business like, hey, aren't we going to go look for her? And Xemnas actually says, no, we're not going to look for her. We're going to treat her as an exile and we're going to keep going on our business.
This is crazy.
Roxas does not like that.
I wouldn't either if I was in love with her.
Yeah. So he starts kind of going looking for her and Axel's like, fine, okay, you know what? Xemnas said not to look for her. Our orders are not to look for her, but like, we have this time where we go and get ice cream and be girlies on the clock tower.
And everybody knows that's where we go every night.
So why don't we spend that time looking for Xion?
Pop off, Axel.
They look all over the world, can't find her, because the one place Axel refuses to take Roxas is Castle Oblivion.
Makes sense. Axel's such a homie, though, for doing that.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not so much that he wants to look for Xion as he like wants to keep Roxas happy.
Sure.
But it's less of a control tactic for the org and more because he wants to keep his friend Roxas happy. And he doesn't mind lying to Roxas as long as Roxas is happy.
Right.
Which is like a thing he thinks a friend would do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's this theme with the nobodies that I saw on the wikis a lot, which is this idea of acting.
Yeah.
And not acting as in like thespian, Horatio, alas, whatever, but like I'm doing emotions because I think people who have hearts do them.
Yeah. Roxas is a character who comes at that from the opposite angle of like, I'm doing things because I feel I should do them. And people go, oh, you shouldn't be doing those things. You don't have a heart. And Roxas goes, I'm doing them.
I'm doing them, so I must do, there must be something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Axel takes the traditional route of
Right.
like, I'm going to pretend to be a friend until I know what having friends feels like.
Yes.
But he is ultimately still serving Xemnas. And so actually like Axel is kind of also responsible for like keeping Xion away.
Yeah.
Behind Roxas's back.
Whew.
So Roxas doesn't quite know about that until he gets to Castle Oblivion. He like collapses. He falls into because he's like too close to Xion, too close to Sora. Their brains are resonating. He's going through painful things. He passes out. He wakes up in the streets of Twilight Town shouting Riku's name, a man he has not met before.
Oh, that's scary.
The Sora is bleeding into him.
That's scary. Yeah, it's getting closer.
Yeah.
Time is ticking down.
Axel is the one who's there to take care of him. He's like, man, I don't know what's going on, but like, I don't know what we're going to do. And then Xion returns.
Cool.
Out of the blue.
Queen.
And Roxas is like, great, my dream of doing the same thing every day forever, it's back.
Also, the girl I'm in love with is here. Hooray.
And the girl I'm in love with is here, and my best friend is here, and we're going to eat ice cream on the clock tower, and everything can go back to normal. But where Xion's been, something's changed within her. Something is not the same.
She's through with playing by the rules of someone else's game.
It's funny because at the end of the game, she does actually defy gravity. So
she really does.
But so like she comes back, something's fundamentally different, and they can't go back. Riku has approached her about his mission to bring Sora back and has kind of gotten Xion on board. Axel tried to fight her to get her to come back. Things are awkward. Roxas doesn't necessarily know why. And eventually, Xion, it keeps asking, like, I have this knowledge now of like what I'm supposed to do, what my function is in the society, like my purpose in the magical schemes of others. Like there's no going back. I think I'm on Riku's side now.
Jeez.
And Roxas finds her and Axel comes out of a dark portal to take her down and they fight. And Roxas gets pissed.
Oh.
He does not like that. It is the moment where he realizes that things cannot be the same forever.
Yeah.
And he takes it really hard.
Yeah, as I would.
Right. It's over the course of this as Xion's like running away, like she comes back, she runs away again, she comes back, she runs away, and Axel keeps being dispatched to like bring her home because she is like, if nothing else, a dangerous weapon that the organization doesn't want to let out of their sight, really.
Yeah, makes sense.
And eventually, to get Roxas to sort of like stop hammering the point of like, why can't we just be friends? Axel reveals the truth to him, that Xion is not a nobody like him, that they are not two kindred spirits that can both wield a Keyblade for some reason. She's a replica made to copy and siphon Roxas's powers as a method of control.
Oof.
And, I think Roxas in that moment is like less upset that she's a puppet, but more so that Axel knew about it for a long time before telling Roxas. She's gone. She's in her feelings. He now understands why someone might be in their feelings about someone lying to them about their nature, but also is like, but he's been lying to me. And the whole time, the organization has told him, like, you're special because you're connected to this guy named Sora, and that's why Shiona's special too. So while Shiona's gone, Roxas starts bringing those old questions back. Finally, the facade of friendship is broken, and he comes back to those basic questions. Am I a puppet? Why do I have the Keyblade? If Shion is only special because she's tied to Sora, am I only special because I'm tied to Sora? Who is Sora, and who am I supposed to be?
Yeah.
He confronts Axel about this. He says, like, dude, you got to tell me. I have the right to know the truth.
Yeah.
This is a big thing for Roxas. He keeps claiming, I have a right to know this truth.
Yes.
And people go, you don't have a right to anything. You're a nobody. But, like, this is a thing that Roxas won't be told.
No.
He says, like, I'm here. This is about me. I have a right as a physical being to know.
My body, my choice.
Yes. My nobody, my choice.
Yes.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
So, like, because no one will tell him, Roxas becomes the first member of Organization 13 to go, there's no reason for me to be here anymore.
Good for him.
And he leaves.
Good for him.
And right before he leaves, Axel, like, appears to him in the streets of the world that never was and is like, is your mind made up? And Roxas is like, nobody will miss me. And Axel goes, that's not true. I would.
I remember that.
And that, I think, is the first moment that Axel is really like, oh, this kid made me feel things.
Yeah. And at that point, too, like, Roxas is so resolute.
Yeah.
Like, he
decides to quit the cult.
He decides to quit the cult.
He was raised in a cult that lied to him and manipulated him and told him he had a greater purpose that he rejected. And he's known that from the first 30 seconds of his memory, of his existence. And he throws it all away because the right to the truth is more important to him.
And I would say this about people who do get raised in these more restrictive religions is like, and this is why I find it really frustrating that people are so, like, doubling down on it in certain ways. It's like, when people leave that thing, it's like, if your hope was that somebody was going to believe this thing so hard and you basically shoved it down their throat, and then the minute they realized that it wasn't true, they throw the whole thing away and are so resistant to ever even interacting with that thing again that it's like, what do they say? It's like, what's the best way to raise an atheist is, like, raise them in, like, fundamental Christianity. It's like, you have to give people autonomy. Like, people have the right to autonomy. Children have the right to an understanding of the world and how they intersect with it. And, like, only by preventing and prolonging that process from taking place, you are inadvertently, unintentionally making it so that they will hate you when they find out the truth.
It's so remarkable that Roxas does this too, right? Because in real world examples,
right,
being trapped in a cult is being trapped in a system. And the system has outliers, and those outliers make it out, and there are, like, statistics about that. The organization has 14 people, and nobody's ever left.
Nobody's ever left.
People have wanted to take it over. There have been schisms and factions, but no one's ever quit before. Roxas finds a courage that literally no person before him ever has.
Because he's Sora.
Because he's Sora.
Everybody else is a nobody of a person who, you know, lived and existed and had wants and desires, but none of those people were Sora.
Well, that's true. And also because of who Roxas is as himself.
Right, exactly.
Roxas believes that, like, a perfect world is possible, and there are forces who would manipulate that to stand in its way.
Yes. Yeah, and those forces are stupid.
Because he's seen the perfect world and he knows where it is.
Yeah. And it's so deeply uncomplicated.
Yeah.
It's so possible. It's so achievable by looking at what's really important. Hello, it is I, Mayanna, here once again to talk to you, the people, in a non-Kingdom Hearts part way. Instead, we're going to talk about other things, like the fact that Simple and Clean Pod has a Patreon. You know, Mischa and I are really, really excited about doing this show. And one of the things we really want to do in the new year is bring on more guests and try to make the show as big as possible. And one of the ways we do that is with your support. We have been so grateful and so excited about the wonderful community we've begun to foster on Patreon. And if you want to be a part of that, you can sign up for the final mixed tier at $5. You get ad-free versions of the episodes you listen to wherever you get your podcasts. You also get delicious bonus content exclusive to you. We talk about video games we love. We talk about other media we love. We've got Mischa's entire playthrough of Dispatch. We've got us talking about Final Fantasy games and other things. So again, if you want to support the show and help us make it as big as we possibly can, the best way to do that is to support us over on Patreon. We're really, really excited for some of the episodes we have in the new year, and we would love your support to make those episodes possible. Simple and Clean Pod is part of the Multitude Podcast Collective. It is a collective of creatives and experts in all sorts of different things who want to talk about them obsessively into microphones, such as American Medieval. American Medieval is a podcast about the Middle Ages, but with an American twist. Every week, Professor Matthew Gabriel is joined by an expert scholar to talk about either some bit of the medieval world itself or how Americans have, throughout our history, used the Middle Ages to say something about ourselves. If America has never been fully modern, it might be because we've always been a little bit medieval. Check out AmericanMedieval.com for more. New episodes are available every Wednesday. Look for them wherever fine podcasts can be found. Next to those podcasts, like on a lower shelf, is American Medieval. And just before I let you go, I wanted to take this last second to thank one of our sponsors for this episode, Gender Free World Clothing. Gender Free World Clothing was founded in 2015 by a little group of like-minded individuals who passionately believe that we all have the right to wear well-fitting clothing which suits our style choices. People's bodies are all different. In addition to height and size, there are variations in hips, bottoms, shoulders, and chest sizes. One size does not always fit all. After extensive research, Gender Free World Clothing has created shirts in 4 body-shaped templates: the Alex, the Billy, the Charlie, and the Drew. And these ranges accommodate those different variations. The Alex is for wider hips, the Billy is for larger busts, the Charlie is for shoulders and hips in similar proportion, and the Drew is for those with broad shoulders, narrow hips, and longer bodies. No matter how you're shaped, you're sure to find a style that is going to suit you. If you're interested in shopping with Gender Free World, they are offering 12% off with our code SIMPLE12 at checkout on your first order. That's SIMPLE12 for 12% off on your first order. So to get yourself something nice, you can go over to gfwclothing.com. That's gfwclothing.com for 12% off your first order with our code SIMPLE12.
So when he leaves the organization, the first place he goes is Twilight Town.
Fucking course.
He's like on his own. The only safe place he knows is on that clock tower with that ice cream. And Xion shows up.
The scene lives in my brain forever.
And
it was crazy.
This is kind of after Axel has forcefully recaptured her. And it's sort of implied that like he brings her back to the organization to have her reprogrammed back on mode. And it's not quite certain how well it's worked, but like in this moment before this fight, it looks like Xion's been fully turned back.
Yeah.
That like she really says to Roxas, we are parts of Sora. There's not enough power to go around. There's not enough memories to go around. And there can be only one.
Yeah.
They fight and Roxas wins. And Xion kind of is like, that's okay. I kind of came here wanting to lose.
Yeah.
I know that it's time for me to reintegrate into Sora. And actually, it's time for you to do that too. What we've been doing is not in the correct order of things. And her dying wish to Roxas is like, hey man, for me, all of those hearts we captured, set them free.
Yeah. And then he forgets that ever happened.
He forgets. It takes a little time.
A little second.
And in that time, he does go from there back to the world that never was, dual keyblades in hand, ready to like shout through the megaphone at Xemnas, be like, come meet me in the street if you want an ass kicking. I'm going to kill them all.
Yep.
But before he can get back to the castle is when Riku intercepts him.
Yes.
Oh, Riku's back on the patrol. They're so close to having Sora back complete, and the last missing piece is that Roxas won't come willingly.
It's like, you gotta get back here, bro.
And he's like, it's not so much that like, I can't let you go do this. It's like, Roxas, if you do this, you're going to die, and I need you alive.
That too.
So the only choice that Riku has is to fight Roxas into submission. And there's this dope-ass fight in front of a skyscraper. This is the Kingdom Hearts 1 secret ending.
Yes.
Another side, another story, and deep dive. It's, go look up these freaking cutscenes.
They're gorgeous.
It's one of the coolest fight scenes in the story. They have this fight in the rain, surrounded by Heartless. At first,
jacked up, beefy Heartless.
At first, they're back to back, and you think they're on the same side, and then right in the middle of it, they like clash and all of a sudden they're enemies again. It seems like Roxas is going to have the advantage, and then Riku has to tap into those dark forces that he sort of learned were within him in Reverse Rebirth.
Yes.
And he has to tap into that well and become closer to Ansem than he's ever been.
It changes him.
He physically looks like Ansem, Seeker of Darkness now. But he subdues Roxas, and before he can ever keep his promise to Shion, he gets waylaid. Riku takes him to DiZ.
Yep.
And DiZ says, we still need a few days to complete the process. We need to hide him from our enemies so they won't come take him back. Let's put him in the Matrix.
In simulation Twilight Town.
And let's erase his memories again so that they can't track those to him.
Yep.
And so, like, failing to achieve his goal, failing to live up to the promise he made to a dying friend, that's kind of like the last act of original Roxas.
Yep. And then we get Kingdom Hearts 2 Roxas.
Yes, which is the first time we meet him.
Yes. And he's a boy.
And
sweet boy.
Once again, he has no memory and he's building it from scratch.
Yep, again.
Only this time, he is not confronted by Xemnas in the first hours of his existence. Instead, he is in a data recreation of the real Twilight Town, which is cool. It's like its own world in there.
Yeah.
It's like a clone of Twilight.
It's idyllic.
Much like the Riku replica is Riku up until they start living separate lives, this data Twilight Town is like an offshoot and then its own separate world.
Yes.
Datascapes are interesting.
Yes, and we'll talk about them more later.
Yeah, we're going to talk about datascapes at another time, but this is a big part of it, this data Twilight Town. And one of the big features of it is that DiZ has programmed Data, Hainer, Pence, and Olette to be friends with Roxas from the jump.
Yep.
And so, having no one tell him that he doesn't feel anything and has no purpose, and just being surrounded by friends who like him for who he is, Roxas has no reason to believe he's not a normal kid.
Yeah, except for he's having really weird dreams.
He's having dreams about the main character.
About a kid that he's never met before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a girl whose name gets every time it comes up on screen.
Yeah, he's having dreams. And obviously, when they show them to us, it's just cutscenes from the first game spliced in. Yeah,
cutscenes from Kingdom Hearts 1.
I think in those dreams that he's having, Roxas is dreaming from behind Sora's eyes.
Ew, yeah.
Through the memories.
Yeah.
It's not really confirmed anywhere, but like that's just what I personally think.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
So when he wakes up, he's like, were those dreams about me even, or were they about someone else?
Keep having dreams about this boy. Fun fact too, in one of the days, I think it's day 4, he wakes up and he fades into Sora's clothes and looks out the window and there's birds that fly by. And for a split second in the frames as the bird is flying by, it's Sora's model. And then another bird flies by and it's Roxas's model again. Mm-hmm. I saw a TikTok about it and I was like, oh shit! Goosebumps.
Yeah. So Kingdom Hearts 2, you're like geared up to play as Sora again. It's been 4 years. You're so excited. And you get presented with this other kid whose name is Roxas and has different friends.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, what the heck?
And you're like, this is the tutorial. I'm remembering how to fight. It's been a couple years and now I'm in 8th grade.
Right. Well, what I found interesting coming at it from this point of view is what actually happens that is weird on those days in the datascape.
Oh, yeah.
On day 1, Hainer, Pencilette, and Roxas, exclusively in that order,
yes,
are worried because a thief has stolen all of everyone's photos.
Including the word photos, which is like a fun little thing that shows that like the world is malleable. But what I think is interesting, you have to remember, who put him there? DiZ. Why did he put him there? To protect him for 7 days until Naminé could finish.
Because he's got something they need to complete Sora's things.
Oh.
So everyone around is accusing Roxas of being a thief of their memories.
Ah, that's
the
fucked
data
up.
reality that DiZ has programmed spends the entire day accusing Roxas of stealing everyone's memories.
Oh, that's so mean.
It's kind of fucked up.
Dude, I will say DiZ is getting to be one of those characters that I'm like, you might be enemy number 1.
Yeah.
You might be like, even above Xemnas, even above Xehanort, you might be one of the worst people in this game.
DiZ, he wants good things, but the way he goes about everything is all wrong pretty much all the time.
And it's sad because it's like there are a lot of adults like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the classic adult that thinks he knows better than the kids.
Yeah.
That's and the moral of this story is that sometimes the kids know best.
Yep.
So as he goes through, weird things start happening. He gets confronted by nobodies, but his memory's been erased, so he doesn't know why. They're coming to find him. They've been dispatched by the organization to retrieve him and bring him back so they can stop what DiZ is doing and also bring him back into the fold for their plan.
Damn.
They want to get original Roxas back. While he's doing that, he's still just trying to be an ordinary kid. They decide on day 2 that they're going to go to the beach. Now, this
one breaks my heart.
It breaks my heart in this game, but it also breaks my heart from this chronological perspective because during that time where they're talking about days off and whatever, Roxas, Axel, and Sion also talk about, like, the next time we all have a day off together, we should go to the beach together. And they never make it. And so now he's like, let's go to the beach. And he spends a bunch of time doing a bunch of jobs, gearing up for the day he can get to the beach. And then Riku goes into the simulation, steals their train ticket money, and he never makes it to the beach.
No.
You know, from Kingdom Hearts 2, you don't know what these kids are about. You don't have the context. But going back and forth like this, it's so weird how the simulations that Roxas is surrounded by, like, reflect the outside plot.
It's like mind prison, horrible torture.
Yeah, it like reflects
it's like
his
the 7
weird
days
choices.
of his personal hell.
It's so weird. Well, I mean, Naminé really doesn't like this.
Yeah, she doesn't care for this at all.
So she kind of steps in and is like, hey, just before all of this ended, I really wanted to meet you.
Yeah.
And he goes, me? And she says very intentionally, yes, you.
Yeah.
Meaning not Sora.
You know what this speaks to as well? Like, looking at Naminé watching this happen is she's like, I won't let what happened to me happen to him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that happen because that's fucked up.
While she's sort of giving him this moment, dusks appear to scare him off. And in this moment of crisis, that's when we get Roxas's dive to the heart.
Yeah, and it's great.
This is the moment where Roxas has that moment that Sora had, and he's sort of inducted into the Keyblade. And
that's so interesting because it only happens after Naminé makes contact.
It only happens after Naminé makes contact. And another thing I'll point out is that the dive to the heart is a real place you can really go.
Yes.
And it's representative of the world inside your heart.
Yes.
If Roxas can go there,
that means he has a heart.
It means he has a heart. That's empirical proof. At that point, he has his own heart. And he chooses the Keyblade and he chooses the Realm of Light. And then that's when the Twilight Thorn attacks him. And I think now we know that this is Roxas's heart. I think the Twilight Thorn is like the nobodiness inside his heart that needs to be purged for him to be a self.
Ah, that's so fire.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
That's very fire.
And he comes through it because he's so dead set that he is himself and he's an ordinary guy. And all he wants is to live an ordinary life with his friends and be chill and cool.
Hell yeah. He
doesn't want this destiny shit. He doesn't want this Keyblade. Why did the Keyblade choose him? He doesn't want it.
Yes.
The next day, there's a fighting tournament in Twilight Town that Hayner and Roxas enter. The struggle tournament, the Twilight Town Budokai Tenkaichi, if you will.
Oh, good stuff.
and he fights through it, and Roxas makes a surprising performance. And just as he's about to win against a strangely empowered Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, everything freezes, and Axel appears. And Axel's like, hey, man, good show. Now, are you ready to come back with me or what?
Oh, my God. Who the fuck are you, red-haired, spiky man I've never met before?
Well, and that's what he says.
Yes.
And that breaks Axel's heart. Because this is the guy who made him believe friends were possible in the first place. And he doesn't remember who he is.
Heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. Axel only just got this heart, dog.
No.
And it's already breaking.
No.
Which is kind of why he reverts back to some of his older behavior. That
Axel.
Amoral assassin behavior. We talked about Roxas as the key of destiny. Axel is the flame assassin.
Yeah.
So like this was his concept. And it's only through prolonged exposure to Roxas that he becomes his own person. And like when Roxas breaks that bond unintentionally, he falls back into his old ways. It's really heartbreaking. He wins the fight. He wins the tournament. Axel retreats for now. The four friends, Hayner, Pensorlet, and Roxas exclusively in that order, go up to celebrate their victory on top of the clock tower, and Roxas falls.
Yeah, that was the moment I was like, never will I sit on the ledge of that clock tower. No way.
This is the first time he's ever fallen off this thing. He's been up there every single day of his life, and he's never fallen.
And this is the day where an iconic three-way phone conversation happens.
Right, well, as he's falling, the universe glitches out, and we cut to Kairi on Destiny Islands, and all of a sudden, she hears a voice, and it's Roxas calling out for Naminé. Mm-hmm. And he thinks she's Naminé because Naminé's the only one.
And he just met her also.
He knows, yeah. And Kairi's like, no, it's me, Kairi. who is this?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is Roxas. And Kairi says, oh, are you tied to that boy? And Roxas is like, oh, you know that boy? And Kairi's like, oh, I don't remember his name.
Can you tell me his name?
And Sora says, oh, thanks, Kairi. You forgot my name? Jeez.
And it's the first time you hear Haley Joel Osment post-puberty. And I will say this. That moment where it was like, Sora's a man now. Like, it was crazy. It was incredible. I was like, oh my God.
Right?
Our boy's grown up.
And then we cut to Roxas waking up in his bed.
Yep.
They smoothed over the glitch in the Matrix. Like, they gave Roxas the blue pill. Anybody seen the Matrix? That's what happens when you take the blue pill. You just wake up in your bed. And you forget that any of this ever happened. That's when he wakes up and says, I'm dreaming again. But which parts were the dream?
Yep. Great question, King.
Now the parts with Sora's memories are feeling more real to him, and the parts with himself feel more and more fake. It's not very good.
It's like the countdown to the end of his life.
It is. It literally
is. And it's like every day gets more and more horrifying and more unraveled and more unintelligible.
And more forces come in and tell him to embrace his destiny. And the more people he has to say, like, leave me alone. In fact, anytime DiZ comes in and messes with the simulation, or Axel comes in and fights and like it overwhelms him, he calls out to his friends.
Yes.
He like stands there and shouts, Hayner, Pence, Olet.
Exclusively in that order.
Almost as though it's like a magic word to get everything to chill.
Yeah, and it does usually. It does reset things a bit.
Yeah, because you know what? Roxas's friends are his power too.
Exactly.
But it can only last for so long because Roxas wakes up on the final day, and this is the day he wakes up, and there's a moment where he like throws himself out of bed, but like Sora's image is overlaid onto him. Mm-hmm. So it's very clear that like Roxas's identity is fading.
It's erasing.
And even he like almost thinks he's Sora at this point.
And is sort of in weird, like, not acceptance, because he is so defiant on this last day, but it's like, oh my God, would everybody just shut the fuck up and let me vibe?
Yeah. He says like, okay, I've been told this is happening. I'm told it needs to happen. But like, and he's okay with it. He goes towards it. On this final day, the simulation is completely broken.
Yes.
Enough nobodies have come in that everything is just frozen and like there's no people in Twilight Town anymore. It's all nobodies. DiZ is like voice of God over the PA telling him stuff now. Like we've broken all pretense that this is the real Twilight Town. And he goes to where he's told to go. But when he gets there, he says to Naminé, he's like, okay, all of that is fair. What happens to me after that?
Yeah.
I have a right to know. He says it again.
Yes.
Even after a cycle where he's lost his memory.
My body, my choice.
I have a right to know.
Yes.
And Naminé's about to tell him, and then DiZ pulls her out of the Matrix, like forcefully, and then...
Yeah, it's pretty violent. He puts his hands over her mouth. Like, I don't care for this scene.
Yeah, and he says, like, you don't have a right to know. We've ran out of time. Do the thing.
And he's like, I'm going to disappear. And she goes, no, you're not going to disappear.
No, well, what she says is, don't worry, Roxas, you're not going to disappear. And he goes, I'm going to disappear.
And she goes, no, you're not going to disappear. And she's like, we're going to go back to, like, we're going to come back to ourselves. And you won't know you're you. And I won't know I'm me, but we'll be together someday soon.
Yeah. But he won't go quietly because DiZ is such an asshole about it.
DiZ sucks.
Again, like, Roxas is a guy who believes in the truth. He believes in a right to the truth, and he believes that his fury towards those who conceal it is righteous.
Yes.
And so when he goes into that basement and he finds that Matrix machine, he has this flash of memory of DiZ being like, yeah, we'll throw him in that simulation until we're ready for him, and nobody doesn't deserve anything better. And he screams and smashes the computer with his keyblade.
Yes, he's so sick of this shit. He's over it.
He's confronted by DiZ and he goes, I hate you so much.
Yeah.
And another thing he says, I don't care what you tell me. I don't care what it is. My heart belongs to me.
Yes.
Roxas is right.
It does.
His heart does belong to him.
It does.
His body and soul don't, but his heart does. Because he has one and it's his. Mm-hmm. But in the end, this fight is happening in the pod chamber. And when he's confronted with Sora, 99% complete, he goes, yes, I needed to have that last moment where my heart was mine. But in the end, Sora, I will allow you to wake up.
It looks like my summer's vacation is over.
And he never made it to the beach.
Well, in a way he did. Because
Later.
at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, he does.
Yes, he does. It takes a little bit more for him to get there.
Certainly
right?
does.
So then we have Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah. Mostly Sora happening.
Mostly Sora is happening, but then we see the craziest fight ever. Literally ever. It's so crazy.
Are we talking about the dive to the heart fight? Roxas v Sora?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Which, if you're on the higher difficulties, that thing will humble you.
That's a tough fight, and I'm glad it is. Honestly,
yeah.
It feels
deserves
as harrowing as like that moment would feel. Like this is the last vestiges, and I'll say he's mostly acting at that point like Organization Roxas.
Yeah. He's in the outfit.
Right. So, he's in that cold, callous mode that we know the other organization members to be, even though when he's characterized as part of the organization, Roxas never acts that way.
No.
But, this is the last vestiges of the parts of Roxas that are not Sora.
Yes.
And they're fighting for their life.
Yes. I'll say this, too, and it might just be because I was introduced to civilian Roxas first. Mm-hmm. When I look at Roxas in the jacket, it feels wrong.
It feels like a costume.
It feels like there's something more there because there is. There's literally his clothes. There's literally Roxas the boy. And when he's in the robe, yeah, it feels put on.
Yeah.
It feels like that's not really who he is.
Exactly. In that fight, Roxas has a large portion of the upper hand, but then finally Sora makes one sweeping blow. And in his last moments of separate consciousness, this is interesting. I don't remember this being part of Kingdom Hearts 2, so I think it's part of the final mix version.
I think it is part of the final mix.
That Roxas has one final vision of him and Axel sitting on the clock tower. And Axel's being much friendlier than usual. Not, he has moments of friendliness, but this is out and out sympathetic and friendly. And he says hey, Roxas, are you sure you don't have a heart? Are you sure, man? Because you sure do feel a lot of feelings. Now, I want to ask, because as I was watching this for this podcast specifically, it only just then occurred to me. Is that a memory Naminé put in there?
I think that happened.
You think that happened?
I think that happened. And I think that either at the time he didn't understand that it was meaningful.
Yeah.
Or it's the first time he's thinking about what was just a normal conversation. Because they ponder, Roxas, Xion, and Axel ponder, the purpose of their existence quite a bit.
Yeah.
As they have these clock tower scenes.
That's true.
They wonder about the nature of their existence. And I'm sure that was one of a myriad of conversations, maybe one even fairly early into their friendship, where Roxas didn't have the context to understand the significance of what Axel was saying to him. And in this moment, in these fleeting moments, it finally makes sense. Like the way your parent tells you when you're young, when you're older, you'll understand. And you don't really understand. And then one day you're doing taxes and you do.
Yeah. And it's that final remembrance that allows Roxas to come fully to accept. And he looks at Sora and says, you make a good other, which is an awkward sentence. But what he's really saying is if I had to be part of someone, I'm glad it was you.
Oh my God. Imagine you discover that not only, hey, you belong to this other person, but this person is the most important person in the universe in many ways.
I mean, that's the best scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would encourage you to imagine an alternate scenario. Imagine you are told that it is your magical destiny because you are part of a person to become whole, to give up everything that makes you a separate being and part of yourself and become instead a part of another person. And that person kind of sucks.
Oh, fuck. I'd be like,
thank goodness it was Sora, because what if it was a guy who sucked?
I mean, that's kind of how it feels when you see in stories about I got to go find my quote unquote real dad or whatever. And then, oh, I was adopted by this family. Oh, I got to figure out who my real dad is. And then you meet your real dad and they suck.
Yeah. It's just, it is like that. And at that point, Roxas gives up his form. His heart lingers on inside of Sora, but his journey is now Sora's journey. In the same way that Kairi was with Sora through all of Kingdom Hearts 1 because her heart resided in him.
Yes.
Roxas's journey becomes Sora's journey to the end of the game. But that also means that when Sora wins and Sora makes it home, so has Roxas.
Oh.
And just to hammer that point home, in the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, there's a beautiful moment. Sora and Kairi are framed by the sunset of Destiny Island. He says, "We're back." She says, "You're home." The light shines into the camera, and where Sora and Kairi were, Roxas and Naminé are, and they're smiling at each other. And it's beautiful. But that's where we leave Roxas for like a really long time.
A really long time. A really, really, really long time. So long, you think it's over.
So long, you wonder if that game's ever going to come out, actually.
So long, they made a DS game where they're like, remember that blonde guy from Kingdom Hearts 2 you really liked? Well, here's some fucking crazy shit that happened to him in the meantime while you wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out.
They leave him there for so long, you could go to college, graduate college, start and have a career.
Get married.
Get married? Walk down the aisle to Dearly Beloved at your wedding.
And go, whatever did happen to that darn there that game? And then you meet some random gal at a party.
Yeah.
And then you decide to make podcasts together. And she goes, did you ever play that there game?
Yeah.
And then you do last year.
Thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, so
there he is.
When we come to Kingdom Hearts 3, really it's like everybody's about to be kung fu fighting. We need all hands on deck.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
And so Sora goes to Twilight Town to see if he can get Roxas back for the coming fisticuffs.
Yeah, indeed.
There's a really kind of nice moment where he runs across Hayner, Pence, and Olette.
Oh, yeah, and they're wearing their cool Kingdom Hearts 3 outfits.
Yeah, and now you have to remember, they were never friends with Roxas in real life.
No.
Only the data versions were.
Yes.
They don't know Roxas.
No.
But Sora vaguely remembers them and asks them about Roxas, and they kind of ask, like, who was that? And he's like, oh, in another world, he was your friend. And Hayner, Pence, and Olette go, oh, we have a potential friend out there in danger. Where do we sign up, baby?
Yeah.
Hayner, Pence, and Olette,
less.
Exclusively in that order. Our ride or die, exclusively in that order.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of sick.
I love them.
He goes there trying to, honestly, what he's trying to do is kind of just like make sure Roxas can exist outside of him. So he's actually going to go put Roxas's heart in the Dataverse.
Oh, shit.
But while he's trying to do that, he's confronted by Xemnas and Ansem Seeker of Darkness, members of the real Organization 13, who sort of taunt him in the like, oh, you're going to need more hands than that. And at that point, Sora's like, all right, we should probably get this man a body so he can hold a Keyblade.
Get this man a gun.
And so they do spend, like, casually in the background, they're, like, looking for ways to bring Roxas back through a large portion of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
And
Good, smart.
Yeah, the way they do that is they realize, because Xehanort is bringing back versions of his heart and putting them in replicas so they can exist in out of time, that, like, if he can do that with his hearts, couldn't they just put Roxas in a replica and he would be chill? Well, they need a replica. So they need to convince Vexen to flip.
That's crazy.
Well, he does.
I know he does, but it's crazy. They're like,
know.
It all comes down to this.
Yeah, well,
this sad man.
Well, and they're like, I don't know if we should step right to Vexen. Who could we flip that would be an easier flip? What about Demix? That guy would flip.
That's so funny, because if you ask me which one's a harder flip, Vexen or Demix, I would probably say Vexen is an easier flip than Demix. Because I feel like Demix doesn't care about anything.
Well, Vexen, all he wanted was to do his little science.
So true, bestie.
But as he sort of gets embroiled in like the real org conflict, the big capital C conflict, he goes, ooh, I didn't want it to lead to all of that. I just wanted to do my little science.
He's giving every scientist in every disaster movie ever.
Right.
You didn't tell me the dinosaurs were going to be in a park.
You didn't tell me the moon was going to fall.
You didn't tell me we're going to steal the Declaration of Independence. There's no scientists in that one.
No.
Maybe there are. It's Nick Cage, a scientist.
National Treasure Kingdom Hearts world.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, but with weird, hyper realistic Nick Cage, we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. I'd riot. Pitchforks in the streets.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so as part of his like repentance, Vexen does like give an empty replica to the other side.
Pop off, Vexen. You know what?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But again, this is the portion of Kingdom Hearts 3 where we're yada, yada, yada-ing.
Oh, we yada the yaddiest yaddies in Kingdom Hearts 3. There's parts where you're like, what? Where was I? We did that thing?
Yeah, was any of the important thing happening while I was off doing this stuff? Well, it turns out no, because it takes them until the very end of the game to put Roxas' heart in replica body.
Well, it's a very delicate. You gotta hold it with both hands.
I suppose so, but
I suppose so. Hey, you know what's interesting? Does anybody ever, besides Sora in heaven, does anybody ever like hold a heart in their hands?
It's kind of like a little floaty spark in Xehanort's hands when he does it to Kairi.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a flower.
It's like in Avengers Infinity War when Doctor Strange is handling the time stone and he's always just sort of like holding his fingers apart and it floats in between. It's like that.
It's so good. It's exactly like that.
Yeah. So there's not a lot going on in Kingdom Hearts 3 about this Roxas plot. It's kind of like, we should put him in a body. Could we get a body? Here's a body. And then we let it chill. Until the dire moments.
It's so good.
End of Kingdom Hearts 3, Keyblade Graveyard.
It's so fire.
Axel's there on the side of good. Xion is one of the vessels of darkness, teamed up with Saix to two devastating people from Axel's past set to confront him.
Pain.
Xemnas is about to strike him down. Xemnas is like, you asshole, you betrayed the entire organization. You're worthless. And Xion stands above him, Keyblade raised. And Sora jumps forward to stop Xion from killing her. And he has some memories of Xion back now. And he's like, Xion, please don't do this. It's all right. You don't have to do this.
We're your friends.
We're your friends. And
This isn't you.
She breaks down crying. She doesn't want to do it, but doesn't know what else to do. And in that moment of crisis between these three resonating hearts, out of the sky, a streak of blazing fire comes down, hits the ground. A spark leaves Sora's chest and flies into it. It combines in a cloud of smoke and shafts of glorious light. There he is, standing there in all of his golden-haired glory, Roxas.
Our boy!
And this is the exact weight that the game gives it. They're like, he's here, he's back, triumph.
Yes.
Everything is great. They're going to win. Roxas is fucking here.
Yes. It's like, because here's the thing. It's like, if Sora is one of the greatest Keyblade wielders to ever do it, Roxas is also one of the greatest Keyblade wielders to ever do it. Roxas is the first character that wields two Keyblades. Yeah. And he does it with gusto.
He does it like he was born to do it.
Yes.
Like, Sora's doing it in a way where it always feels like when he takes a drive form where he has a second Keyblade, he's like channeling a force.
Yes.
And he's like holding the two Keyblades kind of tenderly like he's holding a bomb.
He needs another being to stabilize the raw power. Yeah. Whereas Roxas is just doing it.
Roxas does it as like he does it every afternoon.
Oh, he's so cool.
Like he's born to do it. Like truly. And he takes no hesitation. He's not afraid of Xemnas in this moment. The guy who made him cower his whole life.
Oh my God, it's like Dad.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to kill you, Dad.
Yeah. And he sort of says you know why? Because I have all these people here. I have Xion, I have Axel, I have Sora and Kairi. And you know what, motherfucker? My friends are my power.
Fuck yeah, they are. and Xion is there too. And
that convinces Xion to start fighting on their side as well.
Yeah, it's like the three of them. It's like that fight in Remind, if I'm remembering correctly, is Roxas, Axel, Xion.
Fucking so sick.
The best trio. Oh, so good.
Yeah. And they face down Xemnas, who retreats, and they face down Saix, who dies again.
Saix!
Saix and Axel have this beautiful moment, and we'll get to that in the episode about them, but it's because they're ex-boyfriends. And so they defeat these guys, and Sora and Kairi are like, okay, we got to go to the next fight. We'll see you in a little bit. And so they leave. And in this battleground, it's just Roxas and Xion and Axel back together for the first time. And Roxas goes, I should have bought ice creams.
Oh, Roxas.
Xion breaks down crying.
I would lose my shit.
Axel breaks down crying. The three of them embrace and are crying, and they're back together for the first time in 12 real-world years.
Whoa.
Listeners, this is the moment in Kingdom Hearts 3 where I cried.
I agree. I'm the same way. I feel like there's a lot of really important stuff that happens in Kingdom Hearts 3, but it does feel like, and it was, at the time it was incidental. When you play that first game and you're seeing the three of them come together as friends, you're like kind of taken aback by how much you begin to care about these three characters who are respectfully like of spin-off characters
and agents of the villains of the past two games.
Yeah, they're like stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And they are the bleeding heart, because I think whereas like Sora, Riku, and Kairi, again, they're the main characters, they're amazing. But their friendship is not like forged out of fire. Their friendship is beautiful and blossomed out of years of camaraderie. But these three people fought literally to death to be with each other.
They dragged their friendship out of the flames of hell so that they could have it.
Just so they could hold each other and eat ice cream.
Yeah.
And it's and when they get to be together, it is the moment.
And so they're together. The three of them become a trio for real. Like when the forces gather for this final confrontation of Kingdom Hearts 3, like it's, Sora, Riku, Kairi, Ventus, Aqua, and Terra, and then like from offstage the other direction, Roxas, Axel, and Xion, and they're like, as a group, they help stabilize Kingdom Hearts, giving Sora this opportunity to strike Xehanort down once and for all, and they come out victorious, and they come out together. And at the very end of the story, the three of them go home to Twilight Town, and they're eating ice cream on that clock tower. And you know what else? Isa, Sykes' human form, is there in normal clothes, also has ice cream. And you know who else is there? Hayner, Pence, and Olette. The seven of them hang out on that clock tower.
They can make their own seven lights.
They did.
Oh my God. Yes.
And just as they think their friendship couldn't get more and let's do this forever, Riku shows up in the gummy ship and invites them to a beach party, and they finally get to go to the beach together.
Yes. Yes, Roxas. You did it. You fucking did it, buddy.
He fights so hard for the thing he feels he has a right to.
And he does.
He has a right to the truth, and he has a right to friendship.
And he does.
And he takes those through a gauntlet of machinations and manipulations and plots and destinies. I mean, if destiny is written after the fact, Roxas's destiny was to be on the beach with his friends.
Oh, 100%.
And he knows that when nobody else does.
And nobody else needs to.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to believe in Roxas more than he believes in himself.
He believes in himself so strongly that it makes him a real person. That's who Roxas is.
Hell yeah.
And that's why I fucking love that, dude.
I love Roxas. I mean, Roxas is definitely like... Especially, we're going through the Are You Winning Son playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was like, man, Roxas is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because, I mean, there's so many characters to love in Kingdom Hearts. And again, going back to our mission with this show, which is like, there's like 80 Star Wars characters. Probably more like important Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
You can track these guys, and every single one of the core Kingdom Hearts characters has an arc that is so satisfying, just, depending on the degree. But like Roxas especially is introduced late, gets, comparatively less screen time than many other characters, including Axel.
Yeah.
And his journey is so profound and so impactful. And so cathartic. They really ate. They really did.
And it gives this beautiful lesson, which is like, when you know who you are, don't let people tell you otherwise.
Yes. God.
Because it's okay to be gay.
It is okay to be gay. And it's also okay to be in love with Xion.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess like what did you learn from Roxas? It's like stand in your power, own who you are.
Yeah, it's stand in your power. It's like, honestly, I'll tell you what I learned through my research of Roxas. I learned how well written 358 by 2 days is.
Okay, I mean, yes, and we will talk about it when we do our recap of it. It's really fucking good.
There's a lot of motivations between Roxas and Axel that are implied by Kingdom Hearts 2, but because of the nature of the story they're telling, they don't get a chance to like go into what led these people to these places. And then they said, okay, we're going to go back and say how they got to that point. And like, it's so natural
Yes.
That, like, they start out as friends and that friendship leads to these temperaments.
Yes.
That, like, it might be one of the best prequels I've ever seen.
I agree with you completely. And I played it on the DS when it...
I did not. Disclaimer, I watched the movie cutscenes in the combined pack.
And the cutscenes are great. I was a little... When I saw the tab on the collector's edition, I was like, did they port the DS game? Because that would be so exciting if they ported the DS game. And for understandable reasons, they did not port the DS game to the PlayStation 4. No. I understand.
Oh, you mean they didn't, while they were in the middle of making several other games for the PlayStation 4, make another game for the PlayStation 4?
Yes,
Crazy.
I will say this. I've seen some people on Twitter who've modded Kingdom Hearts 3 into 358 because
cool.
A lot of the assets are the same, and so like seeing Roxas in his coat as a playable character in full HD graphics is a sight to behold. Playing 358, which again we'll talk about when we do that episode, it's a really fucking good game.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking good game. Roxas's kit, the way that they built it out is excellent. And the final fight with Xion is one of my favorite memories of my entire life. It is one of the most incredible boss fights I've ever experienced. The theme song alone, but the way they structure that fight, like playing as Roxas, I've always had such a deep attachment to him. And going on that journey with him was one of the more formative experiences I had as a teenager.
Wow.
I mean, like I felt it in Kingdom Hearts 3. I was like, you did it, kid. You made it.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 really wants you to feel over some other moments that like they were obviously saving for the finale of the story that like are supposed to be these marquee moments. The moment where Roxas appears and reunites with Axel and Xion stands out among those as like the top emotional moment of that game, I would say.
I agree completely.
It puts Sora screaming in the depths of despair in second place somehow.
Yeah.
Because Roxas...
He fought for his right to exist.
Yeah, it's Roxas's triumphant moment where all that time he believed in his own right to exist separately from Sora, and then he does.
He earned it. And he probably didn't think he ever would. Yeah. Like, on some level, it's like, okay, I'm giving myself over to this, and that's it for me. In the same way that Naminé in the final world is like, I think I'm going to stay here and nobody needs me down there. And they were wrong. Both of them were wrong.
Both of them were wrong because both of them were loved more than they expected to be.
By Sora and the people that Sora's heart touches.
Yeah.
And by his ingenuity and desire to make it so.
And his ability to say, fuck the police.
Yeah, literally
Don't
that.
tell me what to do with my powers.
I will do whatever the fuck I want. I am the Keyblade master. I will do whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly. And thank you, listener, for following us as we continue to do whatever the fuck we want. Thanks for listening to Simple and Clean, the Kingdom Hearts podcast. Before we go, you want a message in the bottle?
Yes, message in a bottle. I love messages in a bottle.
This message is from Chris the Geek on Instagram.
What up, Chris the Geek?
Thank you for writing into us. Says, y'all are the reason I got back into Kingdom Hearts, and I can now share this love and appreciation of one of, if not the best game franchise ever created, with my roommate who just watches me play and asks questions. Also, I got my older brother back into playing it. Everybody out there, if you are finding your way back to Kingdom Hearts through this show, and you can't stop talking about it to your friends, and they go, okay, show me what this is all about, and they get into it, you have to tell us.
You do have to tell us. You
us.
are under obligation by me now in this moment. I vow that anybody who through this show reignites their own passion, and then their heart touches a heart that's never been touched by Kingdom Hearts, and it ignites their passion, you have to leave a comment somewhere and tell us that it happened.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole goal of this show.
It's literally the whole goal. That's why we're making this show. So if you're listening to the show, you have to do it. You have to tell
do
us.
It.
So please, please, please reach out to us. We love to have our hearts connect with yours. We are on Instagram. We are on Blue Sky. We are on Patreon at patreon.com/simplycleanpod. There's a certain intimacy too that comes with talking to people on Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, respectfully to other social media, that's the place you go when your very presence means you're trying to support creators you love.
Yes.
Even if you can't do it with money, although we appreciate when you can do that, and it gives you access to ad-free episodes and these secret reports. But, like, even if you're following us for free, even if you're just liking our quips, like, there is such an intimacy to that platform that I really love. So, like, find your way over there and talk to us on there. We love sharing our love of creation with you.
Yes.
Or, you know, other platforms are also good. We are heavily on Instagram.
Yes.
This is a big reveal for the podcast.
Speak on it.
I was not really an Instagram person before Simple and Clean.
Oh my God.
And are you
having so much fun?
I am having fun.
Yay!
It's 2025, which is a weird time to join Instagram for the first time. But, like, through this project, I have found fun with it, which I feel like that's so rare and it's so valuable to me.
It's so special. And also, like, the Kingdom Hearts community eating on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I am so overjoyed by the delightful creators I see on there, especially the Black homies.
Yes.
Black Kingdom Hearts creators, rise up. Y'all are killing it. Y'all are eating. Keep doing your shit. I love it.
You keep doing your funny, hilarious Kingdom Hearts meme shit, and we will keep reposting it on our story.
Keep throwing it back like the Heartless do. Yes, please.
We just want this community of people who love Kingdom Hearts into their adulthood to spread and grow and join us.
Yes.
So please do. That has been Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast. Thank you again so much for listening. And until next time, may your heart be your guiding key. Maybe even dual-wielded keys.
Oh!